Hello and welcome to our video, Learning, Transfer and Reflection, and what you need to know to make it work for you. So firstly, let's think about why reflection is so important in learning transfer. You may have heard me say before, you can't remind your way into change. And people often try and send reminders out after a training program, reminding people of content, reminding people of what they've learned, reminding them of what they've committed to doing, and that won't create change. What actually creates change is when people take time to reflect on how the learning is working for them. So reflection is of the utmost importance in transfer of learning. In fact, reflection is at the heart of the Kolb adult learning principles. And you'll remember the adult learning cycle, which is experience, observation, reflection, and then change. So when someone's back in the workplace, they'll actually be doing an action or a new process that they've tried to put into place. They'll observe themselves, how they're doing it and what's happening, and then they'll reflect what's working, what's not working, what do they need to change, and then they'll actually put changes in place. That's how adults learn. So what is it that makes reflection so difficult? I think one of the main challenges with reflection is that it sounds so intangible, and I think people get it confused with daydreaming. Reflection sounds very soft, and it sounds as if it's not actually going to add that much value. And in today's world where we're very outcome focused, it just doesn't sound as if it's going to help. But actually reflection is very valuable. And I encourage you not to think of it as daydreaming, but think of it as something that will really help people transfer learning. So what can you do to make sure your reflection is effective? I've broken effective reflection down into 3 areas. This is to make sure the reflection is structured, specific, and accountable. So let's think about what we mean by structured reflection. For me, this actually means setting aside time for reflection. Whether that's time by yourself, time discussing it with a coach or with your manager, but it's making sure that you structure the way that you reflect. It may be that you choose to reflect at the end of every day or the end of every week, or that you put an appointment time in your diary. But make sure you put some structure around the process for the time you're going to set aside to reflect and to reflect on your learning transfer. Within structured reflection, you'll be wanting to ask yourself specific questions. It can be as easy as what's gone well with that transfer process and what do I need to do differently now? Or it could be more in depth, asking yourself, what are the top 3 things that you're learning through the process? What are the top 3 things you need to do differently? So get into the habit of asking yourself some specific questions and structuring your reflection in that way. So let's move on now to how you can make it even more specific. And this is to use your action plan. So your action plan will guide you on the specific things that you are reflecting on. They're the items that you wanted to put in place post the learning, and they're what you were captured at the end of the learning process. So structures is your time and your questions you ask, and specific is the action plan that you're focusing on. And finally, we need to make sure the reflection is accountable. And I guess by that, obviously, the reflection isn't what's being accountable, it's you that is being held accountable. And you need to find a way that whatever the outcome from your reflection is, that someone holds you accountable to putting that into place. In all honesty, it is hard to hold yourself accountable, but it's not impossible. Or you can use a buddy, or your manager, or a coach. Just someone to make sure that what you commit to as you come out of your reflection phase, you'll hold yourself accountable or be held accountable to putting into place. So for our learning transfer process, turning learning into action, we use effective reflection by making it structured, by having 3 30-minute telephone conversations. We make it specific by using the action plan that's set at the end of the training program, and we hold the person accountable because they're actually working with a coach. Now you can do that internally with managers or an internally trained team, or you can set up some process to help yourself with reflection. So I hope you found this video useful in terms of thinking about how you can use reflection to support transfer of learning within your business. Do stop by the website leverlearning.com to get in conversation with us and to find out more. Look forward to hearing from you, and good luck with your reflection in your learning transfer.